get out of your comfort zone regularly. This is so important. And so many people tonight said, I'm going to see that bald drummer on YouTube. I'll just stay home tonight. I'll relax. It's kind of cold out. And everybody came here tonight, and everybody got out of their comfort zones and is going to expand themselves, learn something new, meet new people, and tap into their potential. So this is huge. So my name's Chris Lesso. I'm a drummer. I have no drums, but just imagine what I look like playing a set. And I love it. It's my passion. I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do. What a weird job. I hit things for a living, and I get paid. Kind of bizarre. And I've been doing this since I was probably in the womb. You know, I absolutely love it. I have all these memories of being a kid and creating drum sets in my home of pillows and chairs and my cat and just like anything I could to drum on. And I think it chose me. I don't think I chose it. I really think it chose me. And one of my passions is teaching. I love to speak and inspire and teach and guide people on their journey and help people reach their potential of all ages. I've actually taught 4-year-olds and 104-year-olds. Isn't that cool? Tiny little kids just learning to express themselves through music, and senior citizens who need the challenge on their brains and need to have a sense of community and express themselves. It's really incredible to see the power that music has and the power that drumming has. So I'm blessed to do what I do. And to be able to teach and play, it's fantastic. So I've been doing this since I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. And I really had to beg and get on my hands and knees and say, please, Mom and Dad, could I have a drum set? And I think like every parent, they wanted me to play the ukulele or maybe the piano, something polite, something not abrasive. I mean, imagine a 10-year-old kid or an 8-year-old kid playing to Kiss and Metallica and Led Zeppelin and making tons of noise. And I can remember so many times a police squad car coming to the window of my basement. And I'd be like, I guess it's time to stop. And that happened repeatedly. I had this old lady next door, just like, oh, those drums. This old British lady. And she was, she wasn't a fan of the drums. And that's how it was, and I just had to keep doing that. My parents, I have super supportive parents. I think my parents are my biggest fans. I actually played a show one time, and only my mom came. That's a true story. But she was like, yeah. And my parents are my biggest fans. But they were saying, well, you do it. This is up to you to pursue this passion. It's up to you. So I remember knocking it. This is my first taste of being an entrepreneur. I think we got a room of entrepreneurs here. Put up your hand if you own your own business or you're an entrepreneur. Fantastic. That's what Tuni Talks is all about, right on? And I can remember knocking on doors and going, well, I can do 5 things. I can rake leaves, I can shovel snow, I can wash cars, I can walk dogs. Let's go with that. And knocking on doors and basically cheap child labor. That's what I was. And people took advantage of it. Here's $20 for 3 days of work. And I had to save up for my lessons, save up for my drum set. And what I want to share with you is some lessons that life has taught me on the way of having a super crazy job, of hitting things for a living, being a drummer. And I feel like I'm just getting started. I'm still doing it. I hope to be doing it when I'm 110. So Kurt, invite me to the Tuni Talks when I'm 100. I'm going to play for you guys, okay?
Got it.
And some of these lessons are focus, developing your confidence, expressing your creativity, universal things that we can all benefit from. And I call this concept life through rhythm. So the type of artist I am is the type of person I am. And as I grow as a person and as I develop my character, I improve my craft. Now my craft happens to be drumming, but you are all artists here. Your art is your craft. So the first lesson I think life taught me along the way in this crazy journey that is not even close to being done, was you have to be a self-starter. And I think everybody shares that here. You have to do it yourself. I just had a student the other day that's trying to get into Humber and wants to also pursue this passion of making a life out of music and expressing yourself on the drums. And he kind of said to me, he's like, no one really drops anything in your lap, do they? Like, nothing's really given to you, is it? I'm like, yep, get used to it. You know, you have to get out there and shake hands. You have to be a self-starter. And so I kept playing, and then I entered what I kind of think of as my dark years. And I think probably everybody can share that experience of being in high school when you're 15 and just don't know who you are. I was a skinny, scrawny kid, not into sports. I think drumming and music was the one thing that kept me through that time. In grade school, I was part of the nerd drum club, and we used to carry around our drum pads and our sticks in our pockets, and we could play Wipeout for all the girls, by the way. That's a true story. Does everybody know Wipeout? Google it when you get home. It's a great song. And that was really the only thing that made me cool, I guess, back then. And high school was kind of a dark time. I started skipping school, getting into, hanging out with the wrong kids and that kind of thing, getting into bad scenes. And I think drumming and music was the one thing that kept me through that time. But the next really important lesson was, and I had to learn it the hard way, was you are who your team is. You are who you hang around. And that's what's so cool about tonight. You're gonna meet you already met so many great people. I love that exercise Kurt has of meeting somebody you've never met before and holding out your hand. As I travel the world, that's a habit that I have. And I love to ask people for coffee because I can learn from them and it rubs off on me. I'm probably gonna ask a few of you for coffee today. So you are your team. You are who you hang around. You are the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your team is so important. So that was the next lesson that I learned going through that dark time. And I had an epiphany after that. I was loving drumming and music, and I was keeping that going. I was trying to start bands. But we played with a band from the big city of Toronto. Now, I grew up in Barrie. I can remember at that time going, have you heard of Barrie? It's a really small place. You know what I'm talking about. I can remember doing my first paper route, and it was all farmer fields that were just starting to be developed into, subdivisions. And that's where I was playing my first drums and getting those police squad cars coming to me. But basically growing up in a small town and going through that time, we played with this band from Toronto, and they kicked our butts all over the stage. They were focused, they were practiced, they were amazing. And I remember just going, and I realized I had wasted a lot of time, and I had to really kick it up a notch. It was always my passion, but I was almost squandering it. I was doing it, but not focusing it. I love the metaphor of a magnifying glass. If you shine the rays of the sun through it, it focuses it, and it can burn through many things. It multiplies the power by 100 times over, the power of focus. So we played with this band, and I realized I had to really kick it up a notch. And that was when I started to really seek out mentors and teachers. And that was really the third lesson that I got. The older, the better. I had to travel to New York and different places for this. I love working with seniors. They thank me for coming to them, and like I said, I get to do drum circles with seniors. I do drum circles in corporate environments to help team build, and like I said, I drum with kids to build their confidence and focus. But when you spend time with old people, you will learn so many lessons. It's awesome. So seek out mentors and teachers in your life. So be a self-starter, get your team around you, and seek out the mentors. These were the 3 lessons that I really learned along the way, pretty much the hard way every time. I gotta learn the hard way. I'm a slow learner, I guess. And now I'm living my passion. I get to travel the world playing with some of the best musicians in the world, playing music that inspires people. And this is my dream. And I really think This is where confidence lies. Can everybody hold out their thumbs? Excellent. Your fingerprint right there, that thumbprint, that design is the one design like that in all the galaxies in the universe. That blows my mind. That is your uniqueness. That is what makes you, you. And finding your flame, finding your passion, finding what is unique to you, and pursuing that, because it is short. And that's one thing you notice by hanging around with seniors is they go, wow, how did I get to be 98? And it goes so quickly. And so many of them say, I wish I'd left a bigger footprint in the sandbox. And it goes quick. So your fingerprint, your unique flame, your passion, it's pursuing that like your hair's on fire. Go for it. But using it in a way that serves others, that is really the key. That is when you're going to tap into your potential and your greatness and bring out your true confidence. It's not about you. It's about the greater good. It's about serving others. And that's what I try to do in my teaching and my music and my drumming. When I see the power of what it means to people from, like I said, 4 years old to 104, it is powerful. Drumming and music is powerful. It's a way to get in your soul. It's a way to express yourself. It connects people beyond borders, beyond language. It's amazing. So like I said, one of my passions is teaching. When you teach, you learn twice. So please, everybody, all the things you learned today about that crazy ball drummer and about the handwriting and Kurt and everything you're going to learn today, teach it to somebody else. Pass it along. Pay it forward. So I want to tell you a story about one of my students named Jeremy. And Jeremy was a fantastic guy, so passionate about music and drumming and great sense of humor. And he was challenged with Tourette's. And if anybody knows somebody with Tourette's, we take things for granted, like just sitting down and having a cup of coffee with somebody, just walking down the street. It's a different story for if you're challenged with Tourette's. And some people use the word disabled. Disabled. I don't use that word. I don't like that word. Challenged. And everybody here has a challenge, or lots of challenges. I know what that's like. Many challenges. So Jeremy was challenged with Tourette's and came into my studio, and that's when I could see the power of what drumming and music could mean to him and what it could do for his confidence, his focus, his patience, his perseverance, his character, his sense of humor, his creativity, so many things. It's not just about drumming. It's about all those points that he can use in everyday life. And Jeremy really wanted to play my student concert. And if anybody's been in my studio, I do this a few times a year where we get you under the big lights, I get you with a world-class band, the amps are cranked, we go for it. And it's so much fun. And Jeremy really wanted to get up on stage and play the show. This is the real deal. This is not in the studio. This is on stage to a big audience. And I thought if I put him up there and he's not ready for it, he's gonna always associate that negative experience with drumming and music, and he'll never forget it, and this is a big responsibility for me. He had the drumming together, but he had to get bulletproof, to be up on stage, to be under those lights, the flashing of the cameras, the band, the audience cheering. He was sensitive to it, and his challenge made it all the more sensitive to, it's almost like overload if you've been on stage playing music, especially the drums. Man, most intense, loud instrument, right? So we devised this plan where I said, Jeremy, I'm gonna try to break your focus. I'm gonna mess with you. Keep playing no matter what. Keep focusing. We're gonna work your focus muscle. Focus is a muscle. I call it that F word, focus. And I said, okay, Jeremy, you're not gonna know what I'm gonna do. Keep playing no matter what. And we did this week after week. So I flicked water on him. I threw little paper balls at him. Anything I could think of. We had fun. I turned on and off the lights. I lit his hair on fire. No, I didn't do that. Just anything. I'd poke him and just kind of walk out of the room and do, throw my cat on him and just anything to mess with him. And he's trying not to laugh. And he's playing and just staring forward. And every week we did this. And I'm like, Jeremy, and if I messed with him, if I broke his focus, he would laugh, but it'd be like, Chris 1, Jeremy 0. And then, try again next week. And then if he could make it through the song and not get messed up by me, Jeremy 1, Chris 0. And we kept doing this week after week, and the big show came, and I was nervous because this is on me. I'm putting him up on the stage. Okay, Jeremy, you can do it. And he went up on that stage, and we were biting our nails, and we were waiting. Go for it, Jeremy. And he killed it. It was fantastic. He played a song by Green Day. You should have seen the smile on his face. And when he came off that stage, Jeremy and his family cried tears of joy. It was fantastic. And that was about 15 years ago. And I know Jeremy carries that experience with him, and that his focus muscle is strong. He knows what he's capable, which is really limitless. Your potential expands when you go to your limits, and then new limits appear after that. We are limitless. So remember your fingerprint, and remember that your unique flame and your self-expression lies on the crossroads of how you can serve others and how you can serve the world with this. I think that's where true confidence lies. So my name's Chris Lesso. Next time I'm going to bring my drums. We're going to tear the roof off this place. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please go to chrislesso.com, my website, for all the events I'm doing and all the shows coming up. And I hope to meet everybody here tonight. And thanks so much for having me.